morning. Today we're going to make a Georgia peach pound cake. So first thing is we're going to put our sugar in the mixer. And then we're going to put our softened butter. And we're going to cream them together. We're going to do it so it's light and fluffy. It's 2 cups of sliced peaches with a 1/4 cup of flour. You don't want to mix it with the mixer because you don't want to break the peaches up too badly. I mean, they're already soft and everything, but you don't want to make them disappear totally. This into a floured and greased springform pan. And try to just spread it around as easy as you can without making a mess. Even this out a little bit. Okay. Just tapping it to get some air bubbles out. All right, I'm going to put it in the oven now at 325 for 60 to 70 minutes. And then once it's out, then it will cool 10 minutes before we try to remove it from the pan.
Hey guys, it's Debbie and Taylor's joining us in the kitchen again. So we're making peach glaze. So we're going to go ahead and we cut our peaches in quarters. So we have 3 peaches already in here because we wanted to make sure that this was going to ground down to a puree. So it was successful, so we're going to go ahead and put in our 3rd peach. So Taylor, if you want to, you can go ahead and start putting the vanilla in, and I'll put the confectioner's sugar in. And I'll start stirring a little bit at a time. Now you want this glaze to be thin enough because you want it to be able to be poured on top of your warm pound cake. I have recipes for lemon cake, lemon glaze to go on top of your, and it's so good. It really is. And that's what started me into the glazing of cakes, was the lemon pound, or the lemon bun cake, actually. It wasn't pound cake. All right, so we need a little bit more. Oh, these are fresh peaches. What kind of peaches are they, Taylor?
Alberta's.
Alberta's. I don't know. It's a Georgia peach. She says there's several different kinds. What are the other kinds of peaches for Georgia?
Summer ladies. There's many. There's could be upwards of 40 different varieties.
No, really?
Yeah.
See, I'm new to Georgia. I don't know all of this.
At different times of the season, you'll have different varieties. You'll start out with one variety. It may last 2 weeks, then you'll start another variety. It'll last a couple weeks, all the way through the whole peach season.
Now, these growers that you get these peaches from, are they local within, like...
Yeah. They're pretty... The Georgia peaches are mostly in central Georgia. A lot over by where you live, over by the Warner Robins area, in that area.
Yeah, I know. I've seen their peach groves over there.
Yeah.
And they're also, I didn't know this because I'm not a Georgiaite, but I didn't know that there was certain kind of peaches that have different kinds of skin on them. Some of them are a little more tender than other peaches, and I didn't know that because some of them take a little longer to be able to ripen than others. Because usually you could put your peaches out on the counter and wait 2 days and they're ripe and ready to go. Because all the peaches that I've canned this summer have been 2 days and they're ready to be cut up and put the sugar in and put in the freezer for my pies and cakes and stuff. But there's some of them that actually took 4 and 5 days. So is this the variety of that kind of a peach?
It's possible, but another thing that also tends to cause a longer lead time on them ripening is when the peach was picked. A lot of these right now that we have right now were picked the morning that they were picked up, which could mean they were picked from the tree on Friday morning. So you're only 3 days out from it.
Okay, so
it
that's
takes
why.
longer.
That's
Right.
why it hasn't turned yet.
Right.
So that's
For
interesting.
them to soften up to be sweet and juicy.
Yeah, so that means that you have to wait a little longer for farm to table to get it to the table to be able to eat and consume. But this here did puree down very well. I was surprised because I thought it was because it was a little bit more firm. I thought it was going to take longer, but it did take longer than what I thought to puree, but it did very
puree.
well down to a nice puree. Now what I normally do after I'm done with mixing in my confectionery sugar, my vanilla, and my puree or whatever juice that I'm using, if I'm using fresh lemon juice to make my lemon icing, what I do is I normally put it on the stove and I let it like simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes and just let it get a little more liquidy, and that way when we pour it on top of the cake it just goes so nicely and it's so smooth, and it helps to dissolve all of the little sugar.
That's what I was going to say. I'm
Particles?
sure it helps to dissolve the confectioner's sugar that has little lumps in there because it's melting.
Right.
The heat melts the sugar.
But that's my personal way I do it. Some people take it directly from the bowl and put it on top of the cake. I don't. I want to heat it up. I want to be able to incorporate everything together because actually the peaches will actually melt down even more, and then the confectionery sugar will melt into it and it'll make it a nicer, smoother glaze to go on top of your cake.
You probably will infuse the flavors together more too by doing that.
Right. And it does. It does. And you know that I had when I started doing the lemon glaze back a couple years ago, it actually if I left it on the stove for at least 10 to 15 minutes at a lower temperature and just let it simmer, it came out like smooth, and it infused everything together. It was amazing flavor. And but some people take it just like this and pour it on top of their warm cake, which is fine. But I choose to do it over the stovetop because that makes it, to me, it gives it kind of like a final finish, and it's able to make it smoother. So, but it's beautiful. It almost looks like pumpkin pie, doesn't it? It's very pretty.
It looks like baby food to me.
So guys,
you can actually make baby food from scratch.
You sure can. You sure can. So what we're gonna do is, thank you, Taylor, for helping me. Thank you for pureeing the peaches and helping us get this.
And I'm Debbie with Two Sisters Southern Cooking.
We thank you for visiting our page.